قل اللهم فاطر السماوات والأرض عالم الغيب والشهادة أنت تحكم بين عبادك فيما كانوا فيه يختلفون.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Alhamdulillah والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. The fourth reason why you should not judge others is that you don't know the context, the circumstances, the reasons behind people behaving in a certain way or saying certain things. And on a different aspect as well, sometimes you don't even know what they meant by it. You know, what was their reasoning behind what they said. And there is an incident at the time of the Prophet ﷺ which demonstrates this very well. The Prophet ﷺ was doing i'tikaf, so he was staying in the masjid, an act which he used to do regularly, especially in Ramadan. And on this occasion, one of his wives, Safiya, she came and saw him in the masjid and spoke to him and so on. Now it was night time and the Prophet ﷺ didn't want her to go back by herself, so he accompanied her. He left his i'tikaf, he accompanied her. There was a necessity here to accompany her back. Now it's night time and the Prophet ﷺ is walking in the street of Medina with a woman who wasn't easily recognized. While he was doing this, two men passed by the Prophet ﷺ and saw him from far. They recognized it was him, but they didn't know who was with him. So they thought this might be an awkward situation. So they tried to find a different way, a different route, just to avoid meeting the Prophet ﷺ. In their minds, they thought that they were averting an embarrassing moment for the Prophet ﷺ. So they thought that they were probably saving him from an awkward situation. The Prophet ﷺ noticed that they were doing this, so he shouted, "Ala rislikuma innaha Safiya." Slow down, it's Safiya. Meaning that he wanted them to understand, because for them, they didn't know the circumstances, they didn't know who this woman is, and they didn't think bad of the Prophet ﷺ, but they wanted to save an awkward position. Then they said, "Oh mashallah, by Allah, we didn't think anything bad or evil." But the Prophet ﷺ said in the Shaytana yajri min ibn Adam majra dam, that the Shaytan flows through the son of Adam, the human, like the blood flows, meaning that the Shaytan can easily whisper to somebody, and if he had placed, he didn't say this, but I'm paraphrasing, if he had placed a bad thought in your mind, then that would have been dangerous for you, not for the Prophet ﷺ, for you, because you were thinking bad of the Prophet ﷺ. So here it shows you that understanding and thinking about people and their contexts and circumstances, when you don't know the situation, is very important, and therefore you shouldn't judge. If you imagine a similar scenario, you might see a man walking in the street and he's holding a hand of a woman that you don't recognize to be his wife, for example. And you start thinking, well, what's going on here? There's something wrong. Well, this woman might be his daughter, or it might be his sister, or it could be his, his auntie or something. You don't know who this woman is, his niece, anything. So for you to jump to that circumstantial assumption without knowing is dangerous, and that's why you shouldn't judge. And there are many incidences like this, where people have, even documented this in a way to say, always think about reasons why people might be behaving like this. Say you saw somebody coming out of a pub or a bar, do you automatically assume that this person has gone in there to drink alcohol or to have wine or whatever? It could be that this person needed help or is in an emergency or whatever, and he had to go in there. And even subhanallah, sometimes even things which might seem so they disgust you, very horrible acts that you might think, well, there's no excuse here, but again, you don't know the circumstance. Think about somebody who is working as a prostitute, for example. It's obviously a bad act, soliciting in this way, but again, you don't know the circumstances. It could be that this woman is part of the people smuggling, this people, what they call now today the slavery. of, you know, in this kind of way. She could be being forced by other people to do this, and so on. So just by judging from the external, you might not know the full picture. You don't know the circumstances. And on this regards, one person even said, if I heard somebody shouting on a mountain, "Ana rabbukum al-a'la," I'm your Lord Most High, I'd probably say, well, maybe he's just reciting a verse, because those words come in a verse in Surah An-Nazi'at. Or if I saw somebody, his beard is dripping with wine, I would think, or maybe it might be that there's somebody has spilt, he's walking by in the road and somebody just threw a pint of lager on him or something. We don't know. So it's very important that we don't jump to conclusions, because we don't know the circumstances of why people were behaving like this. Another aspect of that is we don't know why people, what do people mean by it? Because sometimes they may say something and we don't know what they mean, and that it sort of overlaps with the next video that I'll talk about, which is knowing the intention of somebody. Assalamu alaikum.